they say "Calvi soma virtude." Calvi soma virtude. That means like baldness is a virtue. I guess it's basically saying that when you get older, it's normal. Like you're gonna lose your hair, but you're gonna become wiser. Right?
So as much as I don't want to lose it, at the same exact time, I can't wait to lose it. You want to know why? No more maintenance.
Right, so now you don't have to worry about it.
I won't have like the head hair or the hat hair, whatever like that, or helmet hair, or whatever. When like I'm riding my bike, I'm just it's gone, and I'm just throw it on, and boom, I'm done. I don't have to worry.
I feel like you could pull it off. Like there's some people that look good, like bald.
Oh, thanks.
That's not what I meant. But there's some people that look good bald. Like you see, like everybody knows, like the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnsons, the Bruce Willises, right?
Yeah,
but
some people.
It just depends on the person.
Some people.
It's unfortunate to the people that like can't really pull it off or don't want to pull it off.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but it's life. Like sometimes you gotta play the hand you're dealt. Right? It's like being short.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
Oh yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
You're 5'2". Well,
you're stuck with that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad. You can't play in the NBA now.
Actually, they have a midget NBA.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I have a question that I have not asked anyone yet.
Oh boy.
So I kind of want to switch things up.
That's okay.
With because I know you're a lot like me when it comes to saving money. Like you know, like you spend it when you need to, but you're not going to go out like every single weekend and like go do stuff.
I've actually spent like. I'm trying to think how much I spent in this entire deployment. It's probably been like around like $500 or maybe less. It's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
So,
what is your plans with that money? Are you planning on putting it aside for something important, or?
I have a couple goals. Like my main goal is to try to get a little bit more independence in terms of getting my own apartment and stuff.
Okay.
Maybe like working myself up to buying like a house, investing in some real estate or something.
Yep.
Right now, I'm trying to get more into stock market, like investments. Right now, I got a couple positions that I'm investing in. Like I invested a little bit in Taiwan Semi, a little bit in Tesla. So just a couple companies that I believe in and that I think they're gonna grow in the future.
Okay.
And I wanted to get more into it because I believe that like the money that I put into it, I don't even really care too much if I lose it because I see it as like I'm just getting experience with the market, so that I can.
Great, because you're putting a little bit into
like trading,
yeah,
and reading markets and understanding the statistics and like the profit loss statements of companies and all that stuff, so that when in the future when I want to do like more serious investments, right, I already have the experience with the lower amounts. Like right now, I don't have a lot of money invested, but it's a little bit like I think it's like around $3,000 something like that.
Okay, that's still pretty penny.
It's a sizable amount.
Yeah. That's good.
So far, I only made like $150, but yeah, it's mine.
Hey, you didn't lose.
Yeah, I didn't lose money, so I'll take that.
The amount of people that gamble with stuff like that and they lose money, at least you're
ahead.
But
I will say that if you want to invest in the stock market, you will have to be comfortable with losing money.
Well, yeah, it's
sometimes you'll invest and things won't go great.
I call it a gamble. It might not be going to the casino gamble, it might not be the lottery gamble, but it's still a gamble because you don't know.
I believe that investing is really a gamble. I believe that if you know how to do research and you trust the company that you're investing, it's never a gamble because you look at people like Warren Buffett, right, the best investor of all time. He rarely loses money on companies, right? And a lot of the times, the companies that he invests in, they're going through downturns, right? Mm-hmm. You know what he does? He buys more stock because the price of the stock is lower now. He doubles down on his position.
So when it goes up high.
But to do that, you have to have something called balls. And those balls and confidence from the company, they come from you doing your research. And
right.
You know that this company, this company's solid. This company has the profits. It has the sales. It's growing. There's not like something silly like, the CEO is taking all the money and running away to Cancun, right?
Right. Oh, that'd be fun.
Right. But you understand what I'm getting at, right?
Right.
It's the more research and the more you know about the companies that you're investing in, I believe the less it becomes a gamble, the more it becomes an educated guess. I don't know 100% where it's gonna go.
Right.
But I have a pretty good idea where it's gonna go. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of investors that are really good at dealing with markets, they end up, even through the toughest downturns and recessions, they can still always keep themselves positive and always make money.
Right.
It's a lot about having confidence and being like, hey, I know this position is like I lost like $5,000 on Tesla or something crazy, right? But I'm gonna keep it because I know in the future it's gonna go up, and I believe in that. If you keep it there, sometimes it pays off, and you can get like instead of 5,000 losing 5,000, now you're making like 15 or 100. You understand what I'm getting at?
I wanted to try to get into stocks, and
It's
I
tougher
have
than it looks
no
because it's a lot of
idea.
research and a lot of you got to put some effort in if you want to make money.
Yeah,
But I believe that everybody should know at least a little bit
Yeah.
because stock market is always important, no matter kind of what you do.
right,
Because even if you have your own business and your own company,
right,
eventually, if you grow it enough, it will become a public traded company, and then you will have to deal with the stock market in some way, shape, or form because the stock of your company will be like in the market. It
Gotcha.
will be traded. People will care about it,
right.
right? And the stock of a company says a lot about the health of the company, right? When you see the stock going crazy down, it's because something bad happened to the company, or there's some risk or some uncertainty in the market because
Right.
of something that happened, like the CEO went on Twitter and said something silly.
Oh no, we don't like that.
I like pineapple on pizza, or something,
Yeah.
and everybody got mad.
Oh,
Right.
that's funny.
Right?
Yeah.
I believe that it's one of those things where it's good to know. It's good knowledge, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty
That's
good.
just what-
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to get more into it. I wish I would have gotten into it like a little bit earlier,
Yep.
but even now like I'm still glad that I'm getting into it because I still got a lot of my life left to live and hopefully.
Hopefully. Who knows what happens?
Usually when people say that something bad happens. So.
Knock on wood, real quick.
Yeah, not going with it. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah. But I mean, it also goes for as far as like one of my favorite sayings. It's never too late.
That is true. 100%.
Because I was told at I wouldn't say a young age, but like a few years ago before I switched a couple of units, and someone approached me and they're like, oh, like what's your game plan? Like what are you gonna do for the rest of your life? And I'm like, I really don't know. And they're like, oh, well, you're getting to that age where like you better figure it out. And I'm just like, why?
They always hit you with that one, huh?
Huh?
They always hit you with that one. It's
It-
cool.
it,
They
like,
go crazy. They go
it
like,
pissed me off.
listen, if you don't go to college by this year, you're done. Your life is over.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like this. I'm like, it's like if you're really good at what you're doing, and then like you choose to do something else, is it really too late? Like, yeah, all right. If you're gonna
Not really.
if you're gonna start a new career and you're gonna start at the bottom of the barrel, everyone starts at the bottom of the barrel somewhere. But then it's how fast are you gonna progress? How much you're gonna get that knowledge? And how much you're gonna grow? You can grow your knowledge in the course of a couple of years and get a higher paying job than you had before. So
Yeah.
don't tell me it's too late.
There's certain careers that I believe that can be certain cases where it can be too late. Like for example, if you want to be a boxer, right? If you want to be like for example, I do boxing
Right.
as like a hobby sometimes.
Okay.
And so, if you want to be a boxer, yeah, if you're like 30, because you have to understand, human bodies they degrade over time, right? So you're not gonna have the same agility, same reaction speed, the same,
Right. Well, that's
So
that's
in terms of athleticism, I do believe that that's true.
Right.
Yeah, when you get a certain age, it's like, yeah, I'm too late for this. But anything that's not athletic in nature,
right.
it's never really too late, right? For
Right.
you to try. Right? If you're talking about like, oh, for example, I want to get into IT and get a tech job, even though I'm an old man, right? I don't know anything about technology. Go learn. Like, what's
Yeah.
stopping you? Right?
Exactly.
I've met people that got like a lot of like certifications for like IT, cybersecurity, like maybe even like college degrees, and they're like 65, 70. Like they know more
Oh,
about
wow.
they know more about computers than I do, and they're old. You understand what I'm getting? So,
Yeah.
So it's never really truly too late, right?
No.
It's a lot of mindset.
It's
and how you
100%
feel.
mindset. It's mindset and drive.
I would say the only things that are really too late for you is if you're like, okay, I'm old and I want to do a physical job. I want to do something that's related to my physicality.
That yes.
Because unfortunately, we're not at that point where you could just put a cybernetic arm and go back to being young.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
We're not
Right.
at that point yet.
Yeah. I'm 70 years
Maybe,
old.
maybe in 50 years. we'll
70
see.
years old and I want to retire, but then I want to do what this kid's doing. She's like, nah, happening.
Yeah, it's all too late now.
Yeah.
'Cause unfortunately, that's the only certainty of life is that you're going to get old and you're going to die eventually.
Okay. Let me see. I do have one last question for you, but
Okay,
I'm trying
hit
to
me up.
I'm trying to save it for the end because I want to progress a little bit more time because I don't know when the next time I'm going to get you on here. Fucking pain in my ass.
No.
Um, how are you with this MOS right now? Is it something that you're enjoying? Is it something that you would want to like switch up in the future? Is it what's your overall thoughts right now?
So that's an interesting question. That's another funny story.
Uh-oh.
So
Here we
when
go.
I joined the military, right? I am a guy that I joined the military. I didn't have a citizenship yet, right? I have a green card. Right? I came from the U.S. From Portugal. I lived in the U.S. I was in the U.S. for around like a year when I joined the military, because I always wanted to join the military back in my country,
Okay.
but I never had the opportunity because I was busy doing other things. So I was like the military. I always respect the military a lot. My father was a Air Force soldier. Like I don't know what rank he was, but he liked it a lot. He served. He did a lot of great things. And the thing with joining the army, right, is that I looked up the National Guard. I started researching more about it. I talked to one of the recruiters, and I started seeing like, oh yeah, they're pretty interesting. You can do like army part time type thing. I was interested in it because I was thinking, oh, I want to do college. I want to do all this other stuff. While at the same time, I wanted to do that, right? And then they told me like, oh, you got all these benefits that you can get, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like like GI Bill and all the stuff, so they can pay for my college. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, so then I was like, okay, let me join. I'm gonna see what I can do, and that's how I ended up here. The funny thing is that like there's only certain types of jobs that you can do when you apply to be in the army, right?
Right.
They give you based on your ASVAB and your ST scores, right?
Yeah.
In my case, with my ST score, I can pretty much do any job in the military. My problem is that
But you picked the being a mechanic.
no. I have to explain. So my problem is that there's only certain levels of jobs that I could do with a green card, right? And then because it's about clearances, security clearances. Right?
Okay.
In this case, I
fair.
can only do certain jobs that require lower security clearance, like a favorable or like max secret, right?
Gotcha.
And so in that case, I was very limited in my choices. And then the other thing is that it's limited to the amount of available jobs they have in the state. Like one of the MOSs that I wanted to do was actually related to IT. I wanted to do cyber,
And they didn't
like
let you
cyber
do that?
operations specialist,
Ugh.
because they don't have a cyber unit in Massachusetts. So
Oh, really?
yeah, unfortunately, the Mass Guard doesn't have one. So they were like, oh, I guess I was like, they just give me a bunch of jobs, and they were like, oh, you can be like a infantry, and I was like, I wouldn't mind, but like I don't want to really do.
So what if
infantry.
you wanted to? I don't even know how would that work, because it's like I guess if you wanted to go like active duty and you wanted to pick the IT, then they would
So
send you
active duty
to
would be
whatever.
different, yeah, because active duty is overseas, right? So in this
Right.
case, if they needed a cyber guy in South Korea, I would go to South Korea.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But so
for guard,
being
you have
in
to
the
stay
guard,
in the state.
you're gonna
Like,
stay
you
in the
can't really
state,
go
so it's
anywhere.
just like
So it limits your MOSs quite a bit. So the idea is that in my case, I chose 91 Bravo because they were like, oh, there's a bonus for being 91 Bravo. I was like,
oh, you lucky bastard.
I was like, sign me up, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I'll take the free money.
Yeah, right.
Because the other options, they were not like anything super fancy. It was like, oh, do you want to be a fueler? You're gonna be a 92 Alpha, right? And I was like, yeah. I was like, at least if I wanted to do a job, I want it to be a skill that can be useful to me.
And you can
In
use
my
it on the
case-
civilian side.
Yeah, in my case, like being a mechanic, yeah, it's a tough job, but I believe that it teaches you some skills that you can use. For example, I can fix my own car, or I can fix somebody else's car, like my girl's car or something like that. And in a way that improves my life, even if it's just a little bit.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
I agree with that. That was
that was my mind frame when
I had the same mindset because it was one of those things where I wanted to pick something. I kind of wish I picked something different to learn a new career, but at the same time I picked something that I had already had experience with. So I'm like, oh, this will be easy because I was already a mechanic on the civilian side. So I'm like, oh, this will be a piece of cake. And
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
yeah, I wish I picked something different now.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I can always go reclass.
But you can reclass if you want.
But
With me, actually, I wanted to be Intel. Like, I wanted to go. I wanted to be either Intel analyst. I think it's like 35 Bravo,
Okay.
or I wanted to be 25 Bravo, which is IT, like.
Okay.
Like so it's like cyber, but not. It's the IT part is like maintenance. Yeah.
Oh, the maintenance side of
Yeah,
it.
maintenance side of like IT.
Oh, so you have like the IT and then like maintenance.
But the
of
one that I
IT.
wanted to do really is the cyber. Like,
Yeah.
that was a guy from a different state. He was like active duty guy. He was a cyber operations specialist. I was so jealous. At basic, I was mad because I was like, but he his was different. He was active duty, and he also like I think he was going all the way to Kuwait or something crazy.
Okay.
Deployed. Yeah.
I mean, it's,
It's something that I wouldn't mind doing, but I'll probably have done it if I was younger, right? If I was like 20 or something.
oh, so like you
Yeah,
were
going active.
where you're going active. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
you meant like changing your MOS.
Yeah, because I feel like when you're young, you're like 20 years old and you want to do active. You can do like a couple years, like 4 or 5 years, and then if you're done, there you go.
Right.
Your life is still good.
Exactly.
Whereas in my case, because I'm like on my late 20s, it's not as easy to do that. Like I have responsibilities, I have things I have to do at home. Like it's not the same thing that I can just be like, hey, I'm gonna fuck off to the military for 4 years.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go switch. Whatever.
I have people that are dependent on me, like my mom and all that. Like, it's tough.
Yeah. No. Definitely.
So I had to like pick according to the circumstances that I was dealt. So that's kind of how I came about, and I ended up being 91 Bravo.
Okay.
It's definitely a tough gig though. There's a lot of easier jobs that you could be doing in the military that probably even pay you better too.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot.
That's
of
why
things.
I was pondering reclassing. Now that I'm pretty much done with my citizenship, I was thinking like, oh, maybe I'm gonna reclass to something like Intel analyst, something like that.
Yeah.
I could do that, but only time will tell. It depends on if I want to stay or not.
Yeah.
I'm still like in the fence. So.
Okay. Fair
I don't know.
enough.
The future will tell.
It's difficult what like the shit that we do because it's just like part of you wants to stay and the other part of you wants to be like fuck this shit. I'm so tired.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's tough. Yeah. The main thing is dealing with the people and like the ranks and all this crazy
It's
stuff.
exhausting.
People telling you, "Oh, go here, no, go there."
Yep. Oh, we
how
changed.
How about you go there?
Frago, change out.
Yeah, Frago, change your thing. Formation at 4:00, even though we leave at 4. I remember just today, like me and the other guy were coming, and their formation outside. We're walking back home from the shop. There's a formation. I'm like, I'm going there, but they could have at least like told me a little bit earlier, so I would have known.
Oh,
Because we were like walking to the barracks, like we don't even have time to like.
Yeah.
I believe that's why they didn't get mad because it's like,
Well,
it was very like quick, that formation. It was like we left the shop at 3:45. We got to be a formation at 4. It's like Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I was laughing because I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, whatever it was, but we got off shift and we started walking back, and it was like right. I think it was dinner time, like supper chow, and the 88 mics were walking back to the motor pool, and I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
They're like, we were told to go back to the motor pool. I'm like, why? They're like, we don't know. We were just told to go. I'm like, dude, the shop's it's closed. Like, we're done.
A lot of times it's the miscommunication too. It's kind of annoying because you have like 3 different dudes with different ranks trying to tell people things.
I was
who to trust.
Like, I was frustrated for them, but I was laughing just like inside because I was just like, you guys probably had to do some fucking stupid bullshit, or someone told you to go there because you had to work with us even though we were done and you guys didn't know. So I'm just like, I'll let them figure it out.
It can get real messy real quick.
I don't want to get involved.
It can get real messy real quick.
Too much confusion, too much, going on. Nope, I'm all set.
No, I feel the same way. That's one of those things, right? You just kind of have to get used to dealing with it.
Yep.
And some people are better at dealing with it than others. Like, there's people that are 20 years in, they're like, I love this. I love the military. You never met those, like, a lot of times you see it, it's like, they're like, it's like retired, like, not retired, but like, it's like 25 years in, colonel or something. He's having such a great time. He shows up and Drill is like, "Hey, how you guys doing?"